Good evening. South Africa has hosted a successful first G20 Tourism Working Group meeting virtually from the head office of the Department of International Relations and Cooperation today. The Director General of the South African Department of Tourism, Mr. Nkhumeleni Victor Vele, chaired the first Tourism Working Group meeting, which was attended by senior officials and experts in the tourism sector of the G20 countries, invited guest countries, and international organizations. Delegates deliberated on and agreed to work on 4 priorities, namely people-centered artificial intelligence and innovation to enhance travel and tourism startups and SMMEs, tourism financing and investment to enhance equality and promote sustainable development. The third would have been air connectivity for seamless travel, and fourthly, enhanced resilience for inclusive, sustainable tourism development. The meeting was the first of a series of engagements that will take place throughout the year ahead of the G20 Tourism Ministers meeting in September 2025. Minister of Tourism Patricia de Lille welcomed the delegates through a video-recorded message.
Warm South African greetings to you all. Minister of Tourism in South Africa, Patricia de Lille here. We are thrilled to welcome you to the first Tourism Working Group technical meeting for this year's G20. We are excited to be welcoming you to our beautiful country later this year for the second working group meeting in May and the third working group meeting and ministerial meeting in September. But first, we have some preparations to undertake, starting with this virtual working group meeting, agreeing on the priority outcomes to be prepared in this year. As you convene, I implore on all delegates to focus on how we can use tourism to change people's lives, communities, and the world. In line with the South African G20 presidency theme, solidarity, equality, and sustainability, we ask that you give special consideration to these ideals and how we align them to our work in the Tourism Working Group priorities. Tourism is recognized for its immense potential and its contribution to the global economy. Tourism is also a tool for inclusive economic development due to its extensive value chain and labor absorption capacity. It plays a critical role in socioeconomic development and responding to the socioeconomic challenges of poverty, unemployment, and inequality. As a G20, we have the platform to elevate the profile of tourism on the global stage and ensure that everyone understands the contribution tourism is making to our GDPs. Let us ensure that the South African presidency builds on the presidencies of Indonesia, India, and Brazil, and that we continue to implement the resolutions of these meetings. I urge you to identify actions that will concretely harness tourism's potential for sustainable development in Africa and the wider G20 membership. Let us focus on actions that will harness technological and digital innovation to empower women and youth in micro, small, and medium enterprises with the aim of achieving equality. Actions that bring our people closer together in recognition of a global solidarity. It is essential to consider the sustainability of the tourism sector, the diversification of the tourism offering, promoting structural transformation, and ensuring greater use of technology as well as more inclusive participation of communities. All of these are essential elements towards a more sustainable, inclusive, and resilient tourism sector. As you prepare to visit South Africa later this year, please visit the G20 website to see all our amazing and diverse tourism offerings to enjoy during your visit to South Africa. I wish you well in your first deliberations and look forward to welcome you all to our beautiful country, South Africa, soon.
South Africa's tourism priorities for the 2025 G20 presidency are aligned within the continental priorities as expressed in the Agenda 2063, as well as with the core objectives contained in the United Nations Tourism Agenda for Africa, the Tourism for Inclusive Growth. Now, this meeting also appreciated South Africa's intention to build on the efforts and successes of the last 3 G20 presidencies of the Global South and also to champion Africa's developmental goals.